Don't you know that the music should be solemn?
It's recording. I don't care. Go ahead.
Am I on?
You're on. You're always
Is it
on.
Wednesday? Hey, Theo.
Sure.
You're the one who, you're the one who's running the ship. Yeah. I'm paddling and you're running it. Yeah. And you told me that, the theory pod is going crazy around the world. And how much does Ireland love you and I?
It's crazy.
Happy St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
We love Ireland.
We have a bigger audience in Ireland than we do in the United States.
Go figure.
Go figure. Not figure, go figure.
Go figure that out, Pete's. We love Ireland. I've been lucky enough to have been there 2 or 3 times.
I have not. Megan.
Kevin, you're going to go. You'll go. Yeah. You'll come with me.
Yeah, I'm dying to go. I'm not dying to go. I'd like to go. Because if I was dying, I wouldn't be able to go.
No, they wouldn't accept you.
Yeah. So I just spent about a good amount of time before this call on the phone with our friend DL David Labrava, aka Liftoff, trying to get his tech situation. And I'm now officially auditioning for a role in Hackers 2 because I had to figure out how to get him on this call at one point that we're on right now. Because
if you thought it was bad with me, wait till you get to the Liftoff.
Well, I gotta tell you, Tommy was bad. DL did what I just went through. He will make it. He will make it. I
don't know.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed,
Fingers
baby.
crossed. He's gonna make this. We just really had to switch some things. But yeah, it was really interesting. I'm trying to figure out, is it because now it's 0 for 2, meaning that the guests don't know what they're doing, or technological.
Yeah, it's 0 for 2. And it might be 0 for 3, and then 0 for 4. We don't know yet. Okay. But let's just get to my boy Happy.
With you, it's 0 for 3 because you've come a long way. I mean, you were, it was a disaster.
Reaper reviews, baby. Look at how good I look. My nose is a bit red today, but that's all right. I've been filming nights,
Yeah, no, but you look, come on. If we compared this to the first episode, you look.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Sachet. Sachet.
Hey, you look good. You got a nice little hoodie on today. You seem warm. You ready for your nude scene? Maybe I shouldn't tell the people that, but why not?
I'm not nude yet, but
soon. Coming up.
Soon, yeah. I'm getting towards the end here, bud.
So am I. You and me both, brother.
Yeah. And I'll be
Hope
out of
I can see you before you go back to Austin, 6 feet away. Come on.
We will definitely. As we wrap this up, I'm going to have a minute here.
Come to my backyard.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited about
I'll cook for you.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great because I'm going to need to eat.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm going to need to eat a lot. I'll definitely do that right after this. So one thing I brought up online and I wanted to get to before we get to DL and the review of Smite, because we're in season 2 now. Yeah. Because we finished season 3 and we finished season 1.
Yeah.
So here on our Reaper reviews, we're in season 2 and we're going to wrap up these episodes. So we're on episode 5, Smite. So if everybody, while you guys are getting your head together, one of the things I posted out and we were discussing briefly was, even though we have about 60 episodes left or whatever of Reaper reviews, which is a shit ton of time, we're going to be at this for a while. You and I were always thinking like, man, what are we going to do after this? Like, because we fully enjoy doing this. We love the community it's built. We love the positivity it's built. And really everything that's come from it is pretty great, especially, when we were doing during this lockdown period and all that. So one of the things we discussed is what does the future hold? So we're kind of messing around with some ideas. I just want to throw it out there and really get, we've gotten some other people's reactions so far. Some of them are just silly. Like, we're not going to review the Mayans or anything. That's silly. But what we're talking about is just doing our show, me and you, because what people don't know is you and I sometimes speak for like 45 minutes in this situation through the Zoom.
I am stuck with you.
Yeah.
For much more than the hour of our podcast
Yeah.
because I'm getting better at this every week, as you know.
Yeah.
And I can't not do this with you. We're going to keep talking and laughing. And yeah, man, let's do it. Why not?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is ultimately to really keep this as simple as possible is you and I speak sometimes for 45 minutes to an hour before we hit record.
Yeah.
We're just going to make a show of that.
Yeah.
It's called Theory with Theo and Kim, Theo Rossi
Right.
and Kim Coates. And we're going to do it. And we're probably going to do it because, you know, it's going to be more obviously of us and not just us reviewing. We're talking about doing it potentially on Patreon because what we want to do is make it closer to the community. And then what we would do is do like 2 of those episodes a month with these Reaper reviews. So the Reaper reviews will stay the same. Nothing's changing. And we're talking about doing those on Patreon, but also doing a once a month Q&A, like live Q&A, you know, with people. Yeah. These are some of the things we're throwing around, right? Like early access to the Reaper review episode. So if the rest of the world gets them on Wednesday, they'll potentially get them on Monday or Tuesday, you know, if they're ready. So again, this is just some of the things we're messing around. I don't want to put anything too nailed down because we're not sure, but just know that we are going to do a theory show with Theo and Kim. And we're going to probably start it out in more of a private space for like, you know, members and stuff and whatever. And I think they're like, I don't know what it is, like $5 a month or something.
It's just 5, 10, and maybe 20.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I think it's something, and we'll do all these different tiers. Or however, I'm learning all about this through the people, through Patreon and through the producers and all that. And nothing will change the Reaper reviews for the next 60 weeks, but very soon we're going to start having the theory show up and going in a separate spot. So we'll keep you posted on that.
And it makes sense for you and I and for all our fans, because that's what people do. When you find out that your podcasts are taking off, which ours is and has been for quite some time, when you find out that people, you know, kind of enjoy listening to you and me and what we have to say.
Why? I don't know.
Why? I have no idea, not a clue. But when we do have that type of fan that we are now getting every week, every day, every month, which is growing and growing, there needs to be a little bit of a special outlet out there that we can do some special things for them as well. And you know, the amount of money that they might have to pay to join for the month or for the year is not too bad at all. And
it's like $60 for the year or something.
Yeah. I'm just really excited about opening it up to that as well.
And I think that, you know, another thing that people have to realize is while we love you and I, and I'm truly enjoying the adventure, and I'm like unbelievably hyped to get into season 4, 5, 6, and 7, especially for the Juice character and the Tig character, because some of our greatest moments are in those seasons.
Correct.
You and I also talk about many other things besides Sons of Anarchy. To be honest,
correct,
if it wasn't for Reaper reviews, I don't think we ever talk about Sons of Anarchy. You know, that's just personally. So
there's so much to say.
Right.
There's so much to share. There's so much discussion to be had between you and me and all our followers that it's nuts not to continue, and we're gonna. And as you just said, we haven't even started season 4. That's gonna be sometime in April.
Yeah.
I mean, here we go.
Yeah. So again, just know that all that stuff's on the horizon, and we're pretty hyped about it because we get to continue doing what we're doing. And, you know, the world is looking pretty good, you know, I mean, at this moment, meaning like literally at this moment, as in this moment. I can't say what's going to happen in 5 minutes from now. And I'm surely not thinking about what happened 5 minutes ago. I'm saying right now, it seems like things are getting better. Hopefully for everyone in all matters, health-wise, financially, whatever. And then, and we get to continue to do this. And if you're on the ride with us, great. And if you're not, who cares?
Exactly. What's my name today? I think you just said my name today.
Who cares?
Is
that
your
name?
I think so.
Oh, that's your name on your screen? I can't see.
I think so. I can't see.
Oh, it is. Yeah, look.
Is it there?
Yeah.
I don't want to get to my technological side over here in my setup.
No, it looks great. That's a good idea. You stole my name. That's cool. Okay, so listen, do you want to go and do a little of this episode quick before we let in Lift off? Because you want to bring him in?
Yeah, because then you and I know we have like 40 minutes to get through Smite, and we can do it.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remember now. We're not dealing with, Steve Gates, Bill Jobs here. We're dealing with, you know what I mean?
Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. Yeah, we knew what you meant.
That's why I did it. I did it like that on purpose.
Did you just like that? Yeah. You know what? We're not.
Just in case they have licenses on their name.
Here we go. Oh my! Come on, bring him in.
Come on.
Click it. Here, you guys will love this. Look at my last text with him. I had to send him a picture of the app that he has to download while I was FaceTiming with him. That's
he looks like God already. He's got something behind his head. I love it. All right, come on.
He's not going to be there. I told him he has to move. It's all over the place. So, okay, we're going to bring him in and then we're going to get to the episode. Yeah. And it's a cool episode. It's, what'd you think?
Really liked it. I thought it was a bit slow, but you know what? The ending is spectacular and sad and violent. And there's things in this episode that I completely forgot, like completely forgot.
Well,
so I can't wait
because the boys aren't in it a ton. The boys aren't in it, but when we're in it, I was like, wow, we had one of the great chapel scenes of all time when you vote. When we looked at you, that was a great chapel scene. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Jacob Hale had a haircut. Yeah, which was nice. So here's what I want to do. Let's get into the episode because we don't know how long it's going to take him to click. Sure. I'm ready. Because I just text him. So the preview starts with Jacob Hale with his nice clean haircut. I had to point that out because I rip on his hair all the time. It opens with Gemma and Tara in the kitchen talking about what happened to her. And then Jax comes in from the garage and there's a bit of a standoff over this journal. He knows, I think, that he knows. I mean, the look in his face when he said, hey, Ma, what about, and she got an old Harley manual, an old Harley manual. Yeah. He looks at her like, He knows. He knows. That's an interesting turn of events because there's bullshit flying everywhere in that scene. Yeah. And he has to assume that she's read it, which assumes that now she knows he read it. So that's kind of an understated turning point that's happening in the beginning there between them two. And if you know Hamlet, like I know Hamlet, early on in that play, Hamlet's looking at Gertrude, his mother, like, what are you doing? Right. Exactly. That's this moment. And then we get your boy Chibi flying in with his shades on. I mean, why didn't we just call him Shades? Oh, wait, I know. A few years later, you were called Shades. So that's why. Can't take my name. You've taken everything else. You can't take my name. You just took my name. Shades. Huh? You took Who Cares? Now you want to take Shades? What's happening here today? Thomas should have been called Shades is what I mean. I mean, Shades on all the time. He's trying to, he looked so good in that scene. He looked good. Like that was Tommy, like his button. Remember some of us would button our cuts all the way up. I would do that sometimes. And he came in, he had 14 scarves on like he always does. He was slapping Charlie in the butt. He was having fun, man. He looked good. Fun. He looked good and he was having fun. And I love when I see Tommy like that. So he talks about sack surgery for a second, and then we cut to Opie working on a bike. I always get a kick out of this because nobody knows what they're doing. And how busy was the shop that day? It was swamping. We had Dog and Muskrat and JoJo and Billy Bob. They were hanging out in that Tellermoral garage. Everybody was making tons of cash. Tons of cash. The shop was cracking at that point. And then she comes in, and I didn't realize that's the first time they meet. Neither did I. What a beautiful moment. What a beautiful moment. Yeah. I got a little like, wow, I'm witnessing something that I just never remembered. Oh, guess who's coming in? No, come on. All right. So remember, we're at the Opie scene. Oh. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I remember where we are. It's liftoff. I won't forget. Here he comes. Hold on. It's connecting. Da-na-na-na. Remember, hit the audio button. Da-na-na-na. David.
All right, I'm looking.
Wait, hold on. We're recording. Remember, we're recording.
There you are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It is so good to see your guys' faces. Wow.
DL, you're there. You made it, you technical wizard.
Bro, this is like 2 days in the making. If this guy hadn't walked me through it 5 times.
It was a pleasure doing it, brother. I would do it anytime. Man, it's been a while. We talked early pandemic, right? We talked early, all of us. We had that big group with all of us were on.
Yeah.
You had reached out. We were all together. We were all doing that thing, for mass safety and all that. But then, a year's gone by, bro.
Did you see, I think it's okay, like I'm a fan of hers, Charlize Theron, her Instagram yesterday about a year, and she's just over it. Done. It's so cool to see, and also Naomi Watts. It's cool to see such people that are like not afraid to show how this has affected them. To the whole world, screaming. You saw that thing that Naomi put out yesterday. That was hilarity. Yeah, and people are losing their minds.
People are losing their minds. But you know what, man? What we do on this show, and this is like such a big thing, is, that was such a special time when we were all together. And what's so unique about your journey with this
best time of my life.
Come on, D. How much fun did we have? And you were involved
from the beginning.
Before the beginning, bro.
I would say 5 networks. I'm from the show's inception. When John picked up the phone and says, I'm going to do a show. If I get it, I want you to be the technical advisor. Then that went to HBO, Showtime, Stars, Cinemax, AMC, FX, and then boom, the rest.
How long was it when you first heard about the show till it was actually going to get made?
Like when Johnny talked to you, DL, and Linson talked to you?
From the day Johnny called me, John Linson, I would say it would take, him and his dad probably pitched it for 4 months, 5 months before they finally got picked up, I guess, 6 months. It took a minute.
And then you and I, Kim wasn't there. You and I did that original pilot with Scott Glenn. Remember, that was a whole different show.
Bro, how cool was it? I had one sentence.
Me too.
Okay.
Me too.
All right. So let's back up a little bit even further. Johnny really helped me a lot. Also, Kurt helped me a lot. Like, I was technical advisor, and I had done a little camera stuff. I had done a couple things I wanted to be on the show, and I read for Tig, and I did not get it because this other guy that was very sociopathic named Kim Coates, he had a thing about him that they just wanted that dude. But Johnny was like, no, bro, write this guy a letter and tell him he's stuck with you and that you're going to help the show. And he wrote me back and said, you know what? I believe you will. And the writer's strike was on. Remember that?
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah. And he said to me, if the writer's strike is on, I'll make you a presence known in the room. And if it's off, I'm going to throw you a line. So he gave me a line. And then we ended up doing the whole thing again. And then he gave me some lines, and you and me fought in the ring.
Yeah.
Never forget.
And then Charlie said to me, he goes, that first thing was he just wanted to see if you could do it on camera. Charlie's like, not everybody could be natural on camera. As soon as he saw that, then he let you fight with the guy in the ring. And
but DL, if you go back, when we did the original pilot, because they kept that warehouse scene with the candle and the cake from Chibs and stuff. Remember, we were there for like 17 hours. That was before, like, they said we only could work certain hours. We were there all night, all day. We were in that warehouse. We didn't know anything about anything. The show wasn't out. I had hair. My character's name was like something totally different. And we did that scene. This is pre-Kim with Scott and all that. And it was that big explosion. And you were in that scene. You were part of that.
Yes.
And so you were on the show as an actor, but like me,
it was a big explosion, and we came out, and I walked up to Scott Glenn, and it said something. The MKs and the 45s are over there, but we couldn't get no shotguns. And like that was my line.
You remember it verbatim. I love it.
And Scott Glenn goes, "I got a better." You all know the other story.
Yeah.
But right. Whoa. All I did was look at everybody's eyes. Yeah, man, you don't do that. But
That was a very different experience. That version of the show, you know, I would love to see it.
He is a real man. He is such an incredible actor, he's a real man, bro. In real life, he's like a man. You know what I'm saying? Just nothing but like incredible actor. It's like this is like he'll build your house. He like break horses, do whatever. You know what I mean? He's like from the country and like a man.
I did a movie with him like 4 years before that, where he played a coach of this football team, and he was playing a real life coach back in the 30s or the 20s, whenever the movie was set. Army versus Navy or whatever, and I got to really know him. We were in Canada for a couple of months, and he was just like, you know, I only known him from Urban Cowboy and
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, and I think he did. Maybe was he in Contact as well with Fichtner? Was he in that?
Could be. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Or maybe I'm confusing it with Silence of the Lambs, but he had always been around. And then when they said, and I've told this story before, when they were like 2 people are being replaced, I was like, it's definitely me. And Charlie was like, it's definitely me. Like we were like, oh, of course they're not gonna replace Scott and Emilio, because those were and what happened is that's exactly who they replaced. The 2 people we thought they would never replace. And then when we found out we were going back, and then when I saw, you know, obviously Hellboy and the dude from Waterworld and all these other shows walk on, I always talk about how jazzed that was. But
remember, he was in Waterworld.
Yeah. But DL, what I try to explain to people, because it's a bit of it almost feels like a bit of a dream, is what a wild time it was, but yet such a beautiful time, like those 8 years or whatever we say it was, because people sometimes don't really get it when we say how close and how much we were all together all the time.
And DL, before you answer that, I just got to add to that and just say to you, and I've said this to your face, behind your back, to anyone who wants to listen, you, brother, turned into a fucking actor.
Oh, man.
Like you turned into a fucking actor.
It's like look who I was. It's like this. You get dropped into a bowl. You got Charlie Hunnam, Ryan Hurst, Mark Boone Jr., Kim Coates, Theo Rossi, Katie Seagal. Like, yo, I've been looking at saying, like, it's like, you know what? I can remember I was a little bit, remember it in the thing, I went a little bit crazy. The one dude, I was just like, tried him, he ain't gonna try me, yo.
Yeah, and I remember that.
Charlie was like, right then, everybody was like, we all decided that you were gonna help us. So we decided to help you.
Yeah.
And everybody really helped me. It's really something to play pretend. It's like you guys were all practicing a craft and people don't get it, that it's really something. It's something you have to be able to do. Like Charlie says, not everybody can do this, bro, or everybody would.
But what you did beyond that is you took a character and you yourself made it so incredibly iconic. Like anybody who knows anything about Sons of Anarchy is a fan of Happy. Like there's no one who doesn't like Happy, because the way you delivered your lines, even if this is why I tell people, and I tell young actors that I mentor, it's not about the amount of words you have. It's about your presence. Your presence in scenes was so incredible, and the weight of it. So you could just say one line, rapturous, or, you know, all these things that you would create, and you became, even just getting the smiley faces, adding that link onto your character, you made him like straight out of a graphic novel. He was iconic.
When I said that line, DL, you know, Happy, you make me look normal. And you and I were burying bodies in that 6th and 7th season. I just gravitated to where you were. You gravitated to where I was. We really got to hang out on set, and you became so simple and pure with what you were saying. There was no acting involved. It was just, you felt shit, and you started to catch on in that 3rd, 4th, 5th season. And no wonder they wrote for you. No wonder people loved you, D.
It's like, think about it. I don't know if you remember. It's like, there's, you know, number 1, 2, 3 on the call sheet could be like, can I have another one? Can I have another one? Can I have another one? And by the time you guys got around the table, to me, you guys would be like, you do realize that you're going to get one. You know, you're getting one shot, bro. Like, you got to do this correct. Because I can remember times I screwed it up the one shot. Well, moving on. That's it. Like, whoa, you landed on the floor again. I learned that too. Don't tell people you're in the episode tonight. No, you might have not made it to the episode tonight. That's not good.
Yeah, because they were, and I remember storylines, and I don't, again, we're watching the show for the first time, as weird as that sounds. We've seen the finales and the premieres, but we haven't really seen the ones between it. So now we're watching them, and there's like all. It's
amazing to watch this stuff.
It's amazing to watch it now, especially now.
Imagine also, like, I'm Fat Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that? I'm Fat Bob, bro.
You did all that behind the scenes stuff.
What is that? Spoiler alert. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But remember,
so are you people go on?
But remember, you had the storyline with your mom, right? You were doing stuff for your mom, Happy.
And my aunt, some drugs and stuff. Remember that?
And my aunt, Happy's aunt. I remember that. That's why I transferred to you guys.
Yeah.
Remember, that was my reason for transferring.
And how did you, I'm just curious because I love to hear people's journeys of it. Like, truly, how did it impact your life? Like, in just the way you operated as who you were?
Okay, let's be real clear. I'm aware. I try to be aware of the other people around, and what's our job? To help each other. Like, you're a perfect example, bro. You are a really great example of helping humans in this earth and extending yourself to help humans in this earth. And that's the job. So it's like this: if God gave you a voice and you only use it for self-promotion, time to shut the up. I'm here to tell you, like, it's a balance. And, everybody here is always you, me, everybody here, everybody in this phone, and quite a few others is like, I didn't have a voice. I was just a person. And all of a sudden you have a voice. So now I try to use my voice to help people and try to help things. I remember, people would be like, yo, Happy, or like, Smiley. No, it's Happy, bro. And in about season 3, it went from Happy to David Labrava. And
yeah, man.
Yeah, Charlie was like, Charlie said, you went from facial recognition to name recognition. That's a big jump for you. I don't know. Hey, you know what? It made my mother proud. It impacted my life on a huge level. Hey, you know what? On so many different lessons, this is a tough business. This will teach you, that's why so few make it. Because people can't get knocked down over and over and over and over. And I'm not saying I made it because I moved way up here, but it's like,
yeah, man.
There's so many lessons available. And you know what? I want you to know, people would day play and they would come to our show and say, I've never seen anything like this before. How did it change my life? Look at the friends I've still got right now, which friends are so important in this life. How about us? How about us camping in Joshua Tree, loaded and drunk, Dayton Callie says something and Theo flicks his cigarette, bam, right in his face. And Dayton stands up and Ryan stands up and everybody, I'm like, you guys are drunk.
We were sumo wrestling. We were counting the stars. We were high. We were drunk. We were laughing. We cooked the greatest meal we could ever cook. My God.
Do you remember? Like, imagine that. Like, it's a 13-hour, 59-minute day on camera. And then we're going to do a wrestling match in the parking lot for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's when I turned around and I sat on my Harley watching you guys. Booney, you, Ryan, Charlie. Yeah.
People would day play and they would say, I've never been on a show like this before. I've never seen anything like this before. I'm like, you guys are actually friends. You, the crew, all of you.
Oh, everybody. That's the other thing they have to understand is the crew is as tight as the cast.
Oh my gosh.
And most of them are with us for the entire time. I mean, besides the hair department that changed every year, we literally had the same people all around us. So it would be like this homecoming. We'd have a few months off, and in the few months off, we'd still see each other all the time. And then we'd go back, and it was like It was like camp. It was like camp for adults. You'd just be there and you'd be like hanging out all the time. Like he said, 14 hours on the camera day, another 2-3 pre and post. You're lucky if you sleep.
And then hanging out with you. Yeah, it's funny. Monday, everybody's all happy and chipper. Thursday, where's the dead zone? Everyone's sleeping in their thing.
Everybody.
Also, I want to say, like, how did it change my life? All I ever wanted to do was make my mom proud. I did. And I feel like everyone knows life done dealt me some hits, yo. And I feel that sometimes if people can just, maybe one person out there, why I wrote that book, one person out there, shameless plug.
It's awesome.
You plug away, bro.
No, I'm saying it's like, if one person sees my page or hears my story and decides to keep on going on, then this was worth it. You know what I mean? Putting myself out there.
And DL, you, bro, you have on your Twitter, you go, good morning.
Yeah.
I've been saying good morning.
You welcome the world
since
every morning.
2015. Every morning I start remarkable. The day. It's, I don't know. It's hey, and it's pretty funny. You can see when times were not so great for me, there'll be like 15 good mornings in a row. You know what I mean? Just like without anything in the middle. You know what? There's so much negativity out there. All I try to do is, force and spread positive energy, positive information, positive energy. Health is your only wealth. Yo, use my keg and water distributor number on my thing and get healthy and get some pH, get yourself pH balance right.
Yeah. And then also one thing that you and I connected over tremendously, and I've always had just so much love for you on this is, because you were the first one that I'd seen it. Kim and I had seen it with each other too, is our love for not just dogs, but all animals. You had a connection right away to animals and the earth, which a lot of people don't realize is that's a tremendous sign of, whatever a spiritually raised up human being, because you're connecting on a different level and you're seeing the innocence and the life, because they say we didn't come to this earth where we come from this earth. Right. And animals are truly the example in every single way. And so once I saw that, and you were like right away, we were all in on that. And, dogs have been all animals, but dogs have been such a giant factor in your life, in your guidance of your life, right?
Dogs are everything, Brent. Yeah. Dogs are, I think you know how we feel about dogs, bro. Like, Frankie, hey, buddy.
Hey, there he is.
And look at my little girl. She's like over by the furnace. Oh, it's called the animal kingdom. Yeah. And look at what's happening in the world. And people dropping. And I don't know, if people don't get it together, it's going to go back to the animal kingdom. Like 12 monkeys, there'll be nothing but animals left.
Well, you know what? We have an in with them. But brother, listen, I love you so much. I love
you so much, bro. I got to tell you that I want to say, like, also, how's it changed my life, man? It's can you imagine such a thing? Like, all my friends where I grew up in Miami, South Beach Underground, a bit like, it's like, wow, there's the David Labrava fan club and the shout out to the DL Universe fan page on Facebook. And like, there's fan pages. My mom is freaking out and people tattoo their face. And like, I have my friends in Miami, like, I don't know. We don't have to delve into the sordid past. And people just like, wow, man. People like, is that guy? Oh my God. But you know what? It's
the best.
It's the best to help people. It's the best feeling in the world to help people and to give people some sort of hope sometimes. And I ain't gonna lie, so I need hope sometimes. And I'll get it from you guys. And I'll get it, I gotta tell you, I don't know how. It's like magic. But sometimes I'll be in my downest time. And Ryan will I haven't spoken to the guy in like 3 months. Your text will come, you are love. He's just, I'm like, how
Hey,
does
man,
this guy know?
Yeah,
that's
he
what's
knows,
circulating
man.
around you, DL. That's the love that you put out. That's we've all gone through some really incredible tough times this past year, 2 years, whatever. And then there's been some super up times as well. And for you to come on this show with me and Theo, because we can't see each, we can't hug anybody. It's 6 feet away, trying to stay safe until this COVID thing's over. And this right here, right now,
This COVID thing ain't no joke.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're going.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something before we go. I mean, there was a point, I don't remember. I only remember where I was, but I don't remember what year it was. I was in New York. It was between seasons. You and I were talking, and there's always a moment where something clicks in your head. It was really early. It was season 1 or 2 or whatever, but we were talking about something. And you wrote like something along the lines of like, no matter what happens, no matter whatever goes down, no matter where this life takes us, I have your back forever. And I was like, this motherfucker, like, you just know when someone means it. Like when they mean it, like they'll be there. They'll do whatever you need. I got you. Right. And that is in this life such a rarity, because people talk shit, but they talk about it, they don't be about it. And you've always been about it. And I've appreciated that more than anything. And it's such a magical time in our lives, almost feels like a fairy tale in a way. And while, yes, was there chaos? Was there all this and all that? Sure. But I don't even look at that. I just look at like what we have now, what we are, the family will always be. And I just think of, it was a different time and it was a different life. And there was just, like we said, if people would see these grown men sumo wrestling at 5 a.m. in between parking spots, trying to push each other off the line, this is fantasy world. We were just kids having fun and we were
playing pretend. If your word ain't shit, then neither are you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man. Like, remember the time, and we had like 50 or 60 extras. I like all these extras, and a really vicious director yelling and screaming. And I was probably, I got to tell you, not in the best mood. And I remember we were in a big, you're going to remember, as soon as I say it, we were in a big garage, and the director said the thing, and one of those dudes on the other side, his phone went off. And the director's, whose phone is that? Whose phone is that? You're going to get fired. Whose phone is that? And I just go, it was my phone. And the guy goes, and I'm like 20 feet away from where it rang. And he's, oh, okay.
Let's try it again. Okay. All right.
Yeah, the guy didn't say a word.
No harm, no foul.
Oh, and then all the other dudes were like, yo, homeboy, that was cool, dog. Right on, man.
I love that. Brother, I love you.
Hey, man. Hey, I love you.
Love
you, bro. Peace and love.
We'll have you back. I love you.
Yeah, man. Hey, you need to get Booney on here, bro. That dude, I love him. He's got a little baby. You gotta get that dude.
I'm seeing him on Wednesday, D. We're gonna give him your love.
Yeah, I talk to him all the time. Love you guys.
Love you,
bro. Love you, D.
Peace. All right.
Whoa. Wow. Like, wow. How good was that?
It's the best. I mean, I truly thought about that. Like when he's on, because his voice, his look, he's the real deal. You know what I mean? We're guys that have been, playing pretend, right? And this guy comes on and he's the real deal. And when you're the real deal, you come in with some stuff, and to watch him grow, to watch what he became, to watch the person, the human that he became, incredible.
Unbelievable. It's incredible.
It's incredible. And I just
family.
I meant
family,
that I got,
baby.
Yeah, it's family, and I got so much love for him. And like I said, what people got to remember him. They seem to sometimes forget the world we live in currently is not the world we lived in when we were doing this show. And I mean that in all ways. I don't mean it in good or bad. I just mean that the world was a little slower. The world was a little less tense. The world was a little more, we were friends. We were just kids. And even though we were all older, we were just having
Oh,
fun.
you were a kid. I was older, but go ahead.
You were older, but we weren't thinking, like, we were just in a different space in our lives than we all currently find ourselves. And when you add on into global, pandemic and all that. So I got so much love for him. I'm so glad we got him on, and he's great, man. Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's go. So Opie and Lila, we just talked about how they met. So we go right to Hale checking in with Zobel. Zobel's trying
the two dicks meet up again, right? I mean, Hale, Jacob Hale, Jeff Kober, like, God, and Adam Arkin, just two dicks, cigar
just
shops
dicks with the cigar, and the way they're smoking the cigars, and like the way they're just
pompous
like
little pricks.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I didn't remember any of this. When Clay comes in, Ron played that like Godfather-esque, right? Like he's coming in.
And I just want to say one thing about there. When we were outside getting off our hogs, and Charlie goes, "I suppose you want us to stay outside," and Pro goes, "I do." That's the first time they've talked since the show before, which is when Clay says to Jax, "I don't care how you're going to get right with the Donna thing, but if you bring it up one more time, I'm going to kill you."
Thanks for reminding me of that.
That's the last time that those two even spoke with one another.
Wow.
So here we are in front of the cigar shop, and Clay is like Marlon Brando. He's walking right. That's a very good analogy. He walks right in. He leaves the shop after telling him what's going to happen. He's got more cigars under his armpits. He's smoking one. He rips one, takes a lighter, and goes,
and he's taking his time. You got to remember at this moment, he's in that scene.
Love it.
He's taking his time. He's looking at the walls. He's basically saying, "I'm peeing on all these walls." He's
calling him Adolf.
Yeah,
just beautiful shit.
And that Zobel character, and Adam is quite the character. He's
in more ways than one. Brilliant.
He's quite the character, and his dad is also one of the most brilliant actors ever, Alan Arkin. But Adam is quite the director. He was directing a lot at this time. The Zobel character has quite the vocabulary as well, to use the word quite a few times, which really made him. You could take that character on paper and just make it like almost, another Darby. And Jax references this later. This ain't Darby. This ain't some meth, whatever type guy. These guys are smart. They're calculated. And I think that it was pretty perfect casting because he really
it was stunning casting, and it was stunning casting. And this whole episode is called Smite for a reason. It's what the last scene of this episode means: to attack quickly, to come back at something. They're so smart. They're so above our pay scale. We're trying to figure them out. We'll get to that scene coming up in the chapel. But yeah, man, Adam Arkin. Woof. Back to season 2.
Yeah, so here we go. Otto gets jumped in prison, and I forgot.
Like, have you been to prison, bro?
I have.
So I know you haven't been to this prison.
No.
I spent 2 nights in lockup myself for something I did when I was a kid. Punched a cop. That wasn't very smart.
Yeah.
But anyway, it can't be fun to be in jail. And there's Otto learning how to mop the floor.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ.
It was violent. I didn't watch it. I turned my head. I'm gonna let me full disclosure this one.
Please.
When they pulled the thing for his eye, I turned. So I don't know if they showed it.
They did not show it. I did watch it. We just heard him scream. And again, Sutter, man, showing his acting chops. But he's always either giving pain to somebody or receiving pain. That's basically Sutter's.
I've been doing a lot of work, as you know, with prison reform, and I've had a bunch of people on the show before we went strictly to Reaper Reviews, and one of the films that I just did went out of its way to have most of the crew, this film American Skin, where most of the crew were formerly incarcerated individuals. I think there was over 120 years combined in the crew members who had done hard time. And then the film that I just finished before this one is a true story about a really famous prisoner named Bosco who escaped prison. It's me and the one with Tom Jane that I did. So we shot in a real prison in Cali that was active and open. And I got to talk to a lot of people, and I got a really big problem with the prison industrial complex, which, I understand that it's completely off people's radar in this country. And I get it, because we have been stuck under this belief that if you go to prison, you're guilty, which, by the way, we obviously, if you look at the records, we know is not true. If prison is supposed to be a place to reform people, it surely isn't. It's actually does the polar opposite because of the environment that's set up. Yeah. It's horrible. But that being said, he really showed the violence and what was going on in this. And we do that throughout the series because we revisit, went to prison or in prison, throughout the entire show. That was a brutal scene, man. And again, Otto is, I don't know how it reflects in Hamlet or whatever, but he is a very tortured character.
Yeah, I don't think there's any Hamlet analogy with the character of Otto, but you never know with Sutter. But we know why he was on this show. He wanted to be on the show, and Otto, every once in a while, is such a huge pinnacle part of this whole play that we're doing, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So Zobel Weston meeting with Deputy Hale, they're trying to get SOA out, right? And
don't you love the way Zobel says David?
Yeah.
Like he calls him by his first. It's not Dave or Hale, it's David.
It's all mind games.
Very flirtatious, condescending, very, you're below me, David. And here's our card. And these tapes that he gave, which I completely forgot about. Did you remember the tapes?
No, I didn't know any of that. Again, I didn't know any of that. It's all power plays. It's all cat and mouse. It's all, this, that, and it's double talk, and it's this, and there's just a lot of scheming going on.
Yeah.
This is what Sons of Anarchy did so well as a TV show. Tell me if you agree with this, is our adversaries.
Yeah. Nothing was better. No show had better adversaries than we did.
Yeah.
Made us all even better. The story's better, more thick, more conniving, more violent. You felt more for the main characters. Oh, for sure.
And then couple on top of it that we were adversarial to each other at points. So
Correct.
Like you had multiple points of danger all over the show.
The show wasn't called Friends.
No,
it was called Sons of Anarchy.
Far from Friends. And we definitely didn't have the money they had. But it was
I can pay
in both ways.
$1 an episode. I don't know about you.
Yeah, by the way, as a club and as a network. But no, I just really think that seeing Zobel, it was like you got Stahl, you got Cone, you got all these things. Then we're gonna go into the Irish, and then really it becomes us. You know what I mean? And then I think there is that other character, but again, I don't want to Ray McKinnon's character down the road, but
we had Pope. I mean, look, we got stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah, we got stuff.
So, buddy, I got a big problem in the next scene. Okay, what? Sarah Jones, who played Polly, who we love.
Yeah. What
the fuck? Why wouldn't she run up to Oregon for a while? Like, what's she doing in Charming? Like, what? Why is she still? It's a small town. It's not New York.
She's gonna
run into Gemma eventually.
You sound like me. So suspension of disbelief, right? They're doing things for storyline. How did they bomb a place where the guys, we don't know if they're all the way in? Listen, this is
no, that's different. This is a question for you. Sarah Jones, we know why she stayed. We know why she's there. We know it's a very weird relationship with her dad, and she's that white supremacist bullshit.
Yeah,
but she should have gone away for a little while, but she didn't, because there's Gemma spotting her in the park.
And Juice shouldn't have told anybody about that he stole the dope and all that. But
I know.
The thing is,
I'll get over it.
Suspension of disbelief.
I'll get over it, Theo.
No, I don't get over anything. So she breaks Tara's nose, by the way, with a vicious
elbow.
Whew.
MMA before MMA. Dana White. Like,
boom.
That
was a boom, right? Smashed her. If that was your nose, it would have been in 5 places. So then Hale sees video. I don't know if I missed some of him being set up, because it's him talking to Darby and switching an envelope, right? So
keep going. That's great. Love it.
Okay. So then Jax comes in all heated up about Otto, trying to convince him who the real enemy is. And he's kind of twisting Hale up, right?
But great shit in there for Hale and Charlie, because Charlie's just going, you're helping the wrong side. What are you doing, buddy? Like, you're helping the wrong side. Because Hale really does try to walk that frickin' line anyway.
But it was amazing, right? So then
it's really good.
Okay. So then we got Polly rolling up to meet her dad. Rollins, I want to say something because I've talked about this before. I was a giant Henry Rollins fan before this. I read all his books, you know, listened to all his albums. I
know you did. You're amazing with his stuff. Tell us about it.
I hate to say this because the role's so despicable. It was perfect casting. And I don't mean that in the way of like he's like the guy. I mean it like sometimes, you know, because I've played despicable characters in some people's eyes. So it was just really good casting, like his look and his
It's
voice.
really nice to be told, I can't see anyone else in that part. That means you became that guy, that hideous, deep, religiously white supremacist, horrible shit. Henry just wanted to be on the show, and he encompassed that guy, and he was perfect.
And he's a little bit Weston's a little bit Tig to Clay, is Weston to Zobel, right? That's correct. The pit bull. That's his pit
correct.
bull.
That's exactly correct. Yeah.
So,
and before we move on, I want to mention one thing about the vehicles.
Yeah.
See, like, and if you notice, Theo, the exteriors of this show, this one, Smite, it was all gloomy, cloudy. That's because we shot it in early June.
And a lot outside.
And it's always gloomy in June in LA, always. So that was a nice reminder for me. And another nice reminder for me watching the show for the first time was the vehicles, those trucks, those Broncos, those green Fords, those late 90s, early 2000s, the bikes, the trucks. It was so Cali. We looked like California. And we filmed this thing in LA and Northern California for a reason. It looked like Cali. And I just, it's really wonderful going back to see this show for reasons that I missed because I'd never seen the show. So it's beautiful.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, what's so strange is if you really think about the show, we weren't outside a ton.
No.
And again, let me reference why. The show was made for very little money.
Yeah.
And it costs money to shoot outside, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to shoot inside.
In our sets,
we would shoot on set in the built sets, which was down at the Telemundo garage where we had all the sets built. Everything was there. The hospital, the police station,
all the bedrooms, the clubhouse,
everything,
and all the new interiors that we had every show. We had carpenters working all the time on that show.
All the time. And shout out to them. They were amazing. But, you know, when you would do that, you would very rarely be outside because it's such a giant move to get this huge cast outside to get them to do everything. So it was really nice to have an episode where we're kind of outside.
It was nice.
It was really nice. So Gemma and Tara.
Here we go. Talk about it. Chapel.
Big episode for them. This is a big episode for them.
And I guess, you know, we're reminded of what season 2 was for Katie Seagal and the character of Gemma and what happened to her in that first horrible show. And we're reminded of it when we're going back to season 2 here. And Tara was her confidant. Like Tara
almost tells her about Cone. She almost tells her in that scene about Cone. So close. She almost tells her and
so close.
It's so funny. While they have two opposing forces, they don't want to like each other, yet they talk to each other all the time, yet they tell each other everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And we just left season 1 last week talking about how, you know, Wendy and you know, Gemma maybe wanted Wendy back into the fold. That was the last episode of season 1. Now we're in season 2, episode 5. And what's happened to Gemma, Tara's the only one who really knows and answer. And boy, Gemma really is trying to get close to Tara, but not too close. And I love it. I love it when she says, is this the scene where she gives her go see the therapist?
Yes.
And Gemma goes, yeah, okay. Now that's funny how that ended up.
Yeah. And she tells her it's in the place and she says, you're still going to the therapist, blah, blah, blah. But now then we go back to Oswald's Ranch. This became a big outdoor set for us for a little while. There's a lot of things that you and I have been watching that have happened in there. You have your little comedic line.
Yeah, it was fun with Ron, with our little funny voices. We kind of, lady, Remember those little voices we would make on set?
Ron used to make a lot of voices. Yeah.
A lot of voices. And he pulled one out there. He pulled out a Clay funny voice, and I just mimicked them. It was kind of funny.
He liked doing those voices. That was a little strange.
Did you notice how Clay and Tig are trying to keep Opie close here?
Opie is the perfect, I'm going to probably say the word wrong because I don't really use it. Centurion? Like he's just standing sentry. Is that it? Am I saying that wrong? I'm sure they'll tell us. Who cares in the comments? But like he just stands there and he's got that look of like, I would never walk up to this dude ever. He looks ferociously
like, don't say the wrong thing or he's going to take a big Papa Bear and go boom.
Yeah, and he's a giant. And like so he was, and again, he's getting close to Clay.
Yeah.
He like he's in.
Well, Donna's unfortunately gone now. So it's the club. 100%.
It's the club. And the club.
Clay and Tig want to keep them close because they fucked up. And
anyway, so Jack's trying to recruit. He's going to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And he goes.
I
to
love
all of us.
this little. Sorry, I know these things mean so much to the show. These little vignettes, little pop there on you and Jax. Then he goes to Bobby. Then he goes to Tommy. Like little, and Piney. Piney comes in and watches the little porn thing going on next door. And Piney's funnier than shit. And but I have a question for you, and that is, Perlman, Clay said to Tig in the scene that we just talked about with Opie, get the juice, Tig.
Yeah.
Did you and I shoot something that's not in the movie?
I think so. And I don't know because
positive we did.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm a silverback in that scene.
Like it didn't make the final cut. I must have come to you.
I think so.
And went, hey.
I think you threatened me.
I think I did. We were at the clubhouse. I'm sure we did.
Yeah, it might have.
Didn't have time to put it in.
It'd be fun to see all the stuff that got cut, wouldn't it?
Well, that would take us on. There you go. We'll do Reaper reviews till 2038.
Reaper cuts. They'll do Reaper cuts. The
Reaper cuts till 2038.
Yeah, that would be fun because there's definitely a ton of stuff that got cut. And it's so disappointing. Who's ever listening to this, you got to understand. And DL really hit on it in that short conversation we just had. Is you learn real early in this business 2 things. Don't tell people you're in something because you might not be in it when it comes out, right? Don't tell people about your role unless you're the lead person who's on the poster. You might not be in it. And then do not, when you read scripts and you get them, especially in TV, don't get too attached to something because by the time you get that 5th revision, it might not be in there.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I was a young actor. I don't know how many years ago this is. Got to be many, many years back. That movie, American Gangster.
Yeah.
I had booked a role on that. And they were like, you got 3 scenes. They're going to fly you to New York. You got one with Denzel and one with Russell Crowe and then one with Russell Crowe and Denzel. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is like,
where do I sign up?
Where do I buy the house? This is it. I'm on a rocket ship. Here we go. And then they got back to me a couple of weeks later and they were like, they rewrote it. And, now it's just like these 2 scenes, but you still got the scene with Russell Crowe. And then you got the scene with the ambulance and this and that. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And then they cut the roll.
Yeah. That's a story, man. That's a Hollywood story for you.
And I was just like, oh, is that how this works? Okay. So, cool. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie, but yeah. So
vignettes were great, and Bobby had a beautiful necklace. His hair is pulled back. Mark Boone Jr. He looked great. He's the thinker of the club, and he says it coming up. Anyway, great little stuff. Great stuff.
So Jax heads right to the hospital. McNally thinks that Jax is beating on Tara. I'm assuming that's what she thinks, right? Because that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, and Margaret, says what people always make the mistake of saying: the gang. You're in a motorcycle gang, and Tara corrects her right away and says it's a club. It's called the club. I mean, you and I have been saying that since we started the show. Every interview I ever do, oh yeah, so the motorcycle gang. I go, actually, no, it's a club.
It's a club.
It's a club.
It's not a gang. I mean, a gang makes.
So she counsels Margaret, on It's Not a Gang, It's a Club. I love
And
her.
it also shows that she's kind of becoming, more towards the old lady side, more going towards the dark side, as they call it. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way. Old lady is the term if you watch the show.
We've said that before, and we'll say it again.
We'll say it again. Watch.
And then we got Gemma splitting from the goddamn therapy session. She can't handle it, Theo. She's out. She can't do it.
No, I mean, well, the one woman there is catatonic, and the other woman comes out. The other woman comes out crying,
bawling, crying.
Yeah, all she's seeing is like Clockwork Orange. She's like,
yeah,
I'm
out.
not going in there. I'm not going in there. Right.
Okay, so then we go to Floyd in the barbershop. Did you notice, Theo?
I have
what's
a question.
What's Tig doing? You know what he's doing? And I remember that day. I didn't remember it until I saw it. I remember going in the shop and I didn't have any lines in there, and I'm just looking around. Well, I took out this like just for men hair dye stuff, and I'm looking at it. You wouldn't have noticed it, but I did. And I'm looking at this hair shit. It was perfect playing with
life imitating art.
Huh?
Life imitating art.
Exactly.
Or art imitating life.
Look at this. Oh, yeah. I could use a little color right now.
So I have a question about these Floyd scenes because I'd like to know, is every single time Dayton has to do, or Unser, I should say, he has shaving cream on him.
Yeah.
But do you notice that every time he has to do a scene, he has shaving cream on him the whole scene because he doesn't take it off? So I was thinking if I was in that scene, how annoying that is, because you do it like, 27 times.
Okay, reset.
Reset the shaving cream. Reset. It was this high. No, it was here. No, and you're just continuity. Like, can't I just fucking wipe it off with a towel on the top of the scene?
Nope, not Dayton.
And he just has it on the whole time while he's talking. Amazing. I love little shit like that. So here we go, bro. You got to tell me about the street brawl.
Yeah, I barely remember it. It was just so stupid. We didn't even know why we were doing it. I mean, here's Clay challenging all of us. So we're just going to go kick the shit out of these guys right now. And Opie was ready for some serious bear. He was going to tear everybody down. And it was probably the most one-sided fight we've ever had. Yeah. Those white supremacists didn't even get a punch in, didn't get anything in. It was kick, punch, bite, slam them to the ground. Not saying they didn't deserve it, because they did, but that was one of the easiest fights we've ever had. It was just
the whole town is watching. If it was nowadays, it would be on YouTube. Everybody'd be finished. Maybe on World Star or whatever. But back then, I mean, he throws his bite down. Jax wants to, appease the situation. And because he sees Opie ready to go. Yeah. And then he's the one who actually starts it, which gets us in a whole slew of a mess going to jail, right? So Gemma's here checking out the journal, hearing JT's voice. So here we go. She's reading it. She's getting into it. She's listening to his words. Now, this cuts us to probably what I think one of the best scenes in the show of this episode, which was Unser Hale.
I wrote it right down. What a fucking scene.
What a scene.
What a scene. Hale and Unser. I mean, Unser telling him, like, I forgot that he told Hale about what happened to Gemma.
I know, me too.
And I love the writing in there where he goes, I was sworn to secrecy and so are you. Meaning I'm fucking breaking my oath to Gemma for a reason, but you're not going to tell anyone or I'll kill you.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the fucking acting, the levels, the hills and valleys they're climbing.
What's best for Charming, all that shit, so good.
And he goes, why do you think I hired you? Let me tell you something. Like, just
so boom, good, Theo.
Yeah, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I love that. Like, I was like, and then you see Hale get engaged, and just a great little, just when everything's clicking, they were clicking in that scene. Yeah. So, Big Dave comes in unlocking the cell.
Davey Jensen opening up cells. My stand-in. There's Dave again. Love that guy.
Hale comes letting everybody in.
Yeah.
And here he goes. Hale's giving the MC love, probably the first and only time, right? I got to think. Only time he ever does that.
Yeah.
He helps them out. And he basically gives them all like the warning. And now that he knows about Gemma, he's going to kind of help out. And he realizes that Zobel and his crew, or these nationalists, whatever they're fucking called, are not good people. Yeah. So now we go meeting at Hale and at
Cobell's.
Clay and they run in there. Oswald's in the suit.
I have to just, I got to say, I wonder if you noticed this, Theo, but you've got the business guys.
Yeah.
You've got Jacob Hale with his suit on, his shorter hair, and Clay. I don't know if they planned this or what, but I hope you peeps saw this. Clay comes walking in and he turns his back on them. Do you know why? To show the Reaper.
Yeah.
To show the patch.
Yeah.
To show who he is. This is who I am. But before I look at you, I want you to look at my colors. I want you to look at what's.
Remember this name. Remember everything. Look.
Remember that. Yeah, and it was just, and the guys looked over there. I don't know if they were bad acting or scared acting, but they were a little like shocked.
Well, I wanted to touch on that. So I was an extra. I started as an extra to get into the union and all that. Tough position for those guys. Let me tell you why. I was an extra on Sex and the City once, and a couple other things. Is
my girl Kim Cattrall?
Yeah, I was an extra. That was not a good experience.
No.
Oh my God, people were so mean to me. So I was a young buck. It's why I'm probably go overly nice to every single person on set.
That's right.
And not just, you have to be, but man, I got treated like, whew. But regardless of that, I'm not going to throw anybody under the Greyhound. Is this? They're not allowed to say anything. The extras, they're not allowed to verbally say anything, because the second they say
we have to pay them more money,
they'd have to get paid. So they're not allowed. They're told, don't say a word.
Don't say a word.
So the mistake is they overact it.
Yeah. Can I do one for you?
Please do. Okay,
so I'm an extra. I'm sitting here and I'm just like this. And then someone says, okay, a guy's going to come in and he's going to pull out a knife. I'm going to show you what extras do. You ready? Okay, here we go. And this is what, if you gave them a chance and you paid them some money and they knew how to just be, you would do this. Like,
that was good eye acting.
Is that good eye?
Yeah, that for the visual people who were watching, that was some good. I might have cut off the other.
I got nothing left. Go ahead.
Good eye acting. And I got to tell you, you're right. Because and they're in a bad position, but yeah, they were way over those guys. So here we go. We know that Taryn Jackson, she's all twisted up. She's all twisted up over Cone. She's all twisted up over her place. So what does he do? He busts out the magical journal.
Yep, that Harley manual.
The Harley
little JT Harley manual.
You're feeling bad? Read this 512-page journal.
I'll give you a week.
If I was her, I would have been like, why do I need to read this? I don't give a shit. We're talking about us.
And she's also dealing with that incredible, secret that she has about Gemma. And she
I forgot.
She can barely hang on to that. She knows that something bad's gonna happen to the club, and she's sworn to secrecy. Anyway, all right, now.
Can I tell you something before we go on? That journal has been in way more scenes than Juice was the first 3 seasons.
It had its own chair. The journal had its own chair. I didn't even have a chair. The journal did. Where's the journal? On his chair. Pick it up.
They bring that journal like it's the movie National Treasure when they stole that. Like that comes in and it's like
way too many times. You get paid way too much money of that book, fucking book.
Goodness, get out of here.
Okay, now we're gonna get to one of the great.
This is it. Scenes. Vote taking place over Zabel. Go for it.
Yeah, this scene. I mean, and we've mentioned this in the past, and we'll talk about it for the next year and a half about. These chapel scenes can get out of control. They can get all yippy. They can get all yelly. They can get all this and that. But when they're pure and they're not too long and they mean something, there's some weight to them. This is one of those scenes. This scene, I mean, was just epically honest and simple. And we couldn't wait to get to you. You know what Clay was going to say, what I was going to say, what Opie was going to say, what Tommy was going to say, what Punch. But you were that. Maybe this is one of the reasons why they cut the little scene that we had, because had they shown that scene, they knew that you were going to go with me and Clay. They would know because I would basically threaten you with your life. So by not showing that scene, I just thought of that now. We don't know which way you're going to go at all.
I think it was in a bathroom or something.
It was in a bathroom.
Like
it was in the same bathroom where you had the
sniffing of the underwear.
Yeah.
You like pushed me.
No, it was, bro.
Like I was coming out. I think I was like zipping up and coming out. And
it was
pushed me back in, right?
Great memory. It was funny too. And it was violent.
And it was funny. And I remember being like, what are you doing? Like it was back to one of those ones where like what we did in season 1.
Beautiful take Jew shit. Yeah.
And then you closed the door and I was like, what's happening?
No, that's it. No, they cut it. They cut it. And they cut it because of this. They knew that you were going to go with me. So we don't know as an audience, but you do. It was beautiful. And when Bobby says to Clay, when you want blind action, you go to Tig. When you want the truth, you come to me. Beautiful.
Yeah. And
Clay's very alone. Sorry, Theo, then you can go ahead. But Clay's very alone at the end of that scene.
He is. And I think at the same time, he also understands that he might have let his emotions get in the way of the club, right? Because at the end of the day, Clay's still the president.
True.
Clay is still the president of not just Charming. He's the president of all of Sons of Anarchy all over the world. So I think for a moment he was like, fuck, did I? Like when Bobby says that,
right up. Yeah.
Did I let my emotions get in the way here? Was my blind rage and my ego getting in the way? So for a second, and Ronnie played it fantastic. It was like, and that's why he comes out and hugs Bobby, right?
Yeah, that's right. And we need to bring this up just a little bit, even though we talked about it. When Jax says to all the boys, no. Zobel, he's way above our pay scale right now. This guy, if we attack him now, it's wrong. He wants that. He's ready for us. He's got traps. He's got tapes on Opie blowing up the meth lab. I mean, everything Jack says is true. And it was the perfect time to say it. All right, now.
So there it is. You know what?
Gemma comes in and goes to Clay, kisses his hands. Bobby, the hug. And then we go outside, man. And I don't know about you. I'll let you talk about the finale here. But when I saw that van being backed up into Telemundo Garage, Theo, Kim, when I was watching it last night, I went, wait, that's not good. I couldn't remember but that's not good. Did you remember when you saw it last night?
No. So I'm just piecing this together now, actually. Polly Zobel had something to do with the van. She says I left the van. Polly Zobel said the van's in place.
Yeah.
So somehow she got the van towed, and that's why she was in town. So I'm just trying to make you feel better from before. Now they could have had anyone do it.
You know what? Good point.
Okay,
they could have had anyone, but she gets back to Dad.
At least she had a reason for being at the mart, the food mart. Okay.
Well, and also she's a great actor, and she was fun to have on set, and we needed her on set. It was perfect.
So they left. She put that car in an illegal spot. I might have missed that, or something, or whatever. It stalled or whatever happened.
Oh no, that went right over my head until you just brought it up.
Me too, till just now. So then it's there. Obviously, Chibs has been aware of this stuff with his Scottish, the whole background, IRA and all that.
He knows the sound.
He knows the sound.
He knows the sound.
Because if not, there's no more Chibs on the show.
Oh no, if Big Dog or Tig or Juice are moving that van, well, we're gone. We're not on the show anymore.
Gone. See you later. Nobody knew enough about my character to care if I died. But with him, he was just on that point of like, if this guy dies, we really like him. And here's what's great about writing. We just spoke earlier of him coming in all happy, all grab ass with Jack and having Jackson having fun.
Shades on, beautiful.
Yeah, shades, scarves, looking like Snoopy from, the Red Baron. And he's coming in and he's all, we don't usually see that side of Chibs, that happy, like go lucky side. He makes the joke about Sack getting the operation. And then we put him in a position where you think he died.
Yeah.
And that's good writing, right? Because it's like, writing. I just invested in him 25 minutes ago.
That's great writing.
So, you end that episode thinking that he's potentially dead. If not dead, he's very wounded.
Well, I thought he was dead if I'm an audience member, because you have Tara looking to get a heartbeat, and then you see me get up. You're right. Like, we're all just, what the fuck? Get on your phone. I mean, it's so bad. I felt for Chibs.
And nobody had died yet, right? This is season 2. So nobody had died that was a main character yet.
No one
right?
big. No.
Yeah. So that was the first threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something that held over all of us for so many years. So it was like, you could die. You could die any week.
Listen, that was something. We got to go now.
I got to go.
St. Patty's Day. And I got to get a green beer somewhere, you know?
A green beer. I'm going to look at something green for like 4 minutes. That's what I'll do. And it was great having our guy Liftoff, aka DL, aka Dave Labrava. Happy, whatever else he goes by. And
Liftoff, man. Oh
yeah.
my God.
I love you, brother. Your lighting, it's kind of weird because I used to look great because you look so bad. And now I feel like I got to get out of this hotel and get to like a proper studio because you look
2
good.
more weeks there, skinny boy.
Yeah, look at you.
Getting together. I'm going to cook for you.
I mean, I look like a mess right now.
No, you're fine. Hey, who cares? Who cares today? You appreciate.
Who cares?
I appreciate you. I love you.
Love
Hey, man. I'll see you soon. Love you.
Get the hell out of here.
See you, buddy. Get the hell.